My name's Haviland Rummel. Thanks for joining us today. My team here is Jen Needham, Christina Moran, Juliana Canessa, and Matt Saunders. And today we're going to talk to you about World Safety's EcoPlanta project to convert municipal solid waste into electricity in Costa Rica. And our agenda today, first we'll talk a little bit about the company and the project, and the products and service. We get a little more specific into that. We're going to do an environmental overview of Costa Rica region, a brief SWOT, and then we'll talk to you about a marketing plan for the company. So World Safety is a U.S.-based nonprofit with a dual mission to promote the well-being of families and children in Central America, as well as provide the latest waste energy technologies. Their CEO, Bill Roosh, has lived in Central America for over 28 years and lived in Costa Rica for 14 years, so he's very in tune to the local needs, the environment, the cultural and social needs. The EcoPlanta project is a partnership between World Safety and Caprobo, which is a group of 17 municipalities in the region, and they have a 20-year contract to provide solid waste or garbage to World Safety, which will then convert it into electricity, and we'll get a little more specific into the process in a moment. And then World Safety, with the proceeds, they invest back in the local community by funding community development programs specifically that focus on children. And their first project will be a home for girls. So now I'm going to pass it to Christina, who's going to talk a little bit more about the product and service.
Thank you, Haviland. So Project EcoPlanta is looking specifically at building and running a waste management facility in Costa Rica. As Haviland mentioned, they have an agreement with 17 municipalities, which includes the municipalities dumping their trash and recycling goods at the plant for the next 20 years. So the incentive for them there was basically that they no longer have to worry about curbside pickup for recycling. They can take all their trash and the goods that are to be recycled in one, take them to World Safety Inc.'s plant, and then they will deal with it. 99% of the materials that are going to come into this plant are reusable or recyclable. So breaking that down, we're looking at, for a plant, a standard plant, about 18% of the goods coming in are the plastics, the metals, the glass, that are first pulled out, sorted, and recycled into sort of cubes of green glass, cubes of clear glass, and put aside and are then for sale to local manufacturers who can reuse the products. The second set of the process is the biomass. About 82% of the trash that's coming in goes into the pyrolyzing gasification process, which you can see in the picture here. The biomass goes in at the top left. It's pushed down with a metal lever. As it's pushed down, the temperature increases. It goes through various phases where the water is first burned off, and then it goes through pyrolysis, and eventually the end result is steam, which is converted into electricity, and then ash at the very bottom. The ash is about the 1% that's not really used for anything, but the steam converted into electricity, in addition to the recyclable products, make up the 99% that is then reused. The plant itself has a lifespan of about 10 to 35 years, depending on size. Looking at the financial side, it's expected to see a return of investment of about 26% at a minimum. It's highly technologically advanced, the process. It requires very few people in sort of the more dangerous aspects of the sorting, so it's good for the local community. It does provide jobs, but they're not dangerous jobs. And additionally, it reduces, currently the landfills are above capacity, and having a plant like this in an area generally reduces the landfill capacity to about 97%.
Thank you, Christina. So Costa Rica is a very peaceful country with a stable government. Currently, the President, Oscar Arias, and the National Liberation Party are in office, and they promote free trade policies and really encourage investments in infrastructure and also technology, telecommunication and energy investments. Their main resources are hydroelectric power, as well as forest and fishery products. Most of the GDP comes from hospitality and tourism. Unfortunately, Costa Rica ranks 115th out of 175 countries in the World Bank's Doing Business Index. This means that the country doesn't readily get investments in resources to help improve poor infrastructure, waste issues, and water contamination. Last year, or in 2007, Costa Rica dealt with nationwide blackouts, and this is because there was a severe drought and their current hydroelectric infrastructure just couldn't produce enough electricity to supply the country. In terms of culturally, Costa Ricans are famous for their hospitality and friendliness. Similar to other countries in Latin America, their gender roles are very traditional. Women are responsible for household chores, cleaning, preparing food, education, and child care. Men dominate the politics and business world. And in general, Costa Rica is considered a very, again, traditional man's world. Costa Rica has a non-litigious culture, so for running and establishing business, this would be very favorable. In terms of the legal system, unfortunately, the government just doesn't have enough financial resources to hire staff managers in the court system. So if a business has any legal issues, they will have to deal with backlogs of cases, and it may take a long time to come to a resolution.
Well, now I'm going to talk about the competitive landscape. The electricity industry in Costa Rica is divided in 3 sections. First of all, there you generate the electricity, then you transmit it, and then you distribute it. And each player is different in each player is different in each section. In the case of Costa Rica, 100% of the distribution is in charge of the government. That it's a company called the Costa Rican Institute of Electricity. And the 80% of the electricity that is generated and distributed is in charge also from these companies that deal with the government. So as we can see, the competition here is not as high, and it's a lot of control from the government. However, the government has created regulations to promote new companies, especially renewable companies, to motivate to get them in the Costa Rican energy market. With that, there's a positive for world safety, because it's going to increase facilitate the operating day-by-day operations in the country, but it generates more potential entrants and increased competitors in the industry. Finally, we have identified that we have the partnership with Caproba, the 17 municipalities. So the challenges is to finding suppliers from trash is going to be limited, but definitely we want to explore opportunities to get new sources of trash. As we talk about it, we have double mission. It's not a project that is just electricity.